G'day and welcome to Season 2 of Harvestable by AgriDigital. Our 8-part mini-series will feature raw and unedited fireside chats with some of agriculture's most insightful minds, sharing their perspectives across the grain supply chain. In this episode, we are joined by Andrew Green, a truck driver for David Knight Transport based out of Monteagle, New South Wales.
So welcome to another edition of Harvestable. Ben Reid here, co-founder of AgriDigital, and on the line today I've got Andrew Green. How are you, Andrew?
Very good, thanks.
Very good. So Andrew, I've known you for, well, what's it been? A bit over a year, I guess, but I've known your wife for a lot longer, and I guess that was the connection to talking to you today. But I'll let Andrew introduce himself in a minute, but Andrew's a truck driver and drives a truck for David Knight Transport, which is a trucking company based at Grenfell in the central west, New South Wales. And just a bit of a plug for David Knight Transport. They run a business of around about 7 trucks on the road, and and Andrew's one of their drivers. So good to have you with us today, Andrew. Before we get into the sort of the general part of the conversation, I just thought I'd let you introduce yourself a little bit about where you grew up and who you are and how you got to driving trucks.
Yeah, well, I grew up in Camden, up near Sydney. Dad come from out west, over near Fifield, near Trundle, and what can I say? I bloody grew up, did 21 years in Camden, then finally moved out with my girlfriend, which is Lisa, which I've married since, and always loved being west of the mountains as a kid, and finally as we grew we decided this is where we wanted to be, and over a long journey of moving from Camden to the coast, then on to Burrawa, and then we bought a place out at Monteagle, and always loved the farming lifestyle, and during the harvest and the Christmas holidays and things, as a kid, you'd see the trucks come and go. And over time, I once said, that's one of the things I'd like to do, and I ended up doing it. So that's a good thing, I suppose.
Yep. No, if you enjoy what you do, that makes life easy. So, and I guess I can hear the truck roaring in the background there. Well, not roaring. We've got a pretty clear line here, really. But
we're actually on a road in roadworks. They've just stopped me.
Oh, there you go. So you might as well tell everyone where you are. Where in the world are you?
We're heading north between Maroolan and Sutton's Forest on the Hume Highway, heading to Newcastle.
Very good. And what type of truck do you drive?
Bonneted Kenworth.
Yep. And
T909 B-Double.
B-Double truck. Yep. And
yep.
And for all the truck lovers out there, what model of Kenworth is it?
It's a T909 2016 model.
Right. And how many horsepower motor is that?
600.
Right. So it's got plenty of juice.
Yeah, she goes all right.
Yep.
Can't complain.
Yep. That's good. And tell me a bit about the truck. So what's the cab like? And you're obviously sleeping in, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, it's got a 50-inch bunk in it with a single bed. It's got cupboards and fridges, and has got a microwave, sandwich press, a toaster, and a jug. So yeah, it's like a little home away from home every week.
Yeah.
You got to be comfortable, and I can't say I'm not.
Well, that's good. And I guess for probably the benefit of everyone, Andrew, just give us a bit of a rundown of what an average week in the life of Andrew Green is. You're obviously in the truck tonight, being a Sunday night. Just tell us a bit about what the average routine of a week is for you.
Well, you can, depending on where the work is what day you'll start and how much work's on. If it's going to be a busy week, you'll start of a Sunday and head off of Sunday afternoon, which gets you to a place where you've got to be to either unload or reload on a Monday. And then, we usually carton grain. At the moment, we're doing a lot of grain in from out the west into the ports, into Newcastle and Wollongong. And then, you get up tomorrow morning, unload, go back out west at the moment to reload and bring another load back in tomorrow night, sort of thing. And that's just a a general flow through to the end of the week, and then get home Friday and jump out. You do about 12 hours work a day, and have a shower every night. Yeah, I usually take all my meals with me in the truck, and it's not a bad lifestyle. I quite enjoy it.
Yep. And where would you? Are you sort of? I mean, it depends, as you say, it depends on your week. But are you showering at the same place most nights, or are you sort of all over the place?
Oh, it depends on where you are. Like, for instance, last week we were running out of Newcastle back to Temora, so you'd you could have a shower anywhere on the Hume or in Newcastle once you're unloaded. And usually I like to shower before I go to bed, so you're not covered in dust. But it depends on where you are, really.
Yeah.
You it could be anywhere from somewhere 5 hours from the port somewhere, or at the port. Sometimes you've got showers at the ports. So really is where you've got to go to and where's convenient.
Yep. It makes sense. And with I guess you talked a little bit about your meals there, and you've got your little kitchen in the truck. Are you sort of saying that you take most of your meals with you?
Oh well, I won't say I take all of them. I like to be spoiled every now and then, but no, it's just a way of you're on the road to make money, so you want to save money, so take what you can in the truck, so you're not spending it all on the roads.
Yeah.
The price of living's getting dearer, and the more you're on the road, the dearer it seems to be getting where you buy food. So.
Yep. And that's right. And do you and probably just in terms of, to give everyone that's listening some context, you talk about 12 hours of driving or thereabouts per day. How many kilometres would that rack up to over the course of the week?
That depends on we can do anywhere from 4,000 kilometres a week, 4,500 kilometres a week. On a good week, you might get close to 5,000 kilometres a week.
Yep.
You've got to have your adequate rest breaks, and always watching the logbook to make sure nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
So you can't.
Yeah.
You're restricted in that way, but it's been set up to be safe, and we like to be safe. So it depends on. So that's a part of the reason. If I like to leave on a Sunday, because if you leave on a Sunday, you can get to your destination and have a good rest break before the next day starts. And then if you're going to leave on the Monday, well, you've got to get up early to get to the yard to get to the truck, where it's a lot easier to do on a Sunday sort of thing.
Yeah. Yep. So, can imagine that. And because I guess for a lot of people to think of doing 4,000+ kilometres per week sounds like a fairly daunting task. But I guess how do you attack the weeks and the process of it all? I mean, you probably don't even flinch at it now, I guess.
You're on the road all the time, and there's other drivers around you, so you don't want to be out there. You've got to make sure you have your rest break and eat properly, eat well, and you just got to remember you're not the only one on the road. So you've try and stay alert, have your rest breaks when you can, and don't do anything silly. Yeah,
that's right. Well, I saw a post today. My wife showed me a post on social media somewhere, and it was a picture, and it said, "I'm not drunk. I'm just dodging potholes." And at the moment, the roads have obviously copped a hammering with the wet weather we've had, and I guess the Hume Highway is not too bad, but you probably, I'm sure you're experiencing all of the rough roads at the moment.
Anywhere, I think, west of the main highway, like the Hume. Like we were a few weeks back, I was running out through Dubbo, and the roads from around Wellington, Dubbo, and back around to Temora, back to the highway. They're just they're just falling to bits. Yeah.
Yep, they sure are, and we haven't even started harvest yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how we go. Probably, I guess, Andrew, just part of wanting to talk to you tonight while you're driving was appropriate, but just to give everyone an understanding of
But I always sort of was growing up with the saying, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And if the truck's not going to make money sitting still, so I don't mind driving it if the truck's making money, if I'm driving it, I don't mind driving it, because I know we're not pressured into driving. You hear stories of companies where they push and push and push, but no, working here, it's nothing like that. Well, look at me, I'm quite relaxed. I'm cruising up the Hume. I'll get up here tonight, and I'll go to bed, and I'll get up 7 o'clock in the morning and unload. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a high pressure, but it's demanding in a sense where the job needs to be done, but we're all quite capable drivers, and you do things properly. It's set up well for it.
Yep. And how do you go, I guess, being away from home? I guess you've had a few years behind the wheel now, so you're adjusted to it, and I guess your family is as well. But how do you find that, being away during the week, and then obviously back at home on the weekends? Is that I guess at times it's taxing?
It has been in the past. Pretty much when the kids were little. All my kids are adults now, but when they were younger, like between say 4 and 15, there was always a conversation of, when are you getting home? Well, these kids are going crazy. There was always, you felt like you need to do the job, but you really need to be at home as well. So there's been times where you think, geez, I wish I wasn't in it. But, the last few years where, the kids are older and the money's good, we quite happily, get out and do the job, and I get home Friday night.
Yeah.
Like this weekend just gone, I got home Friday night, and Lisa rang me up while I was on my way home and said, do you want to come out? There's a movie on at the local vineyard. It was an outdoor movie, and I went and had a few beers and a wine and just watched the movie outside. It was like, just a relaxing evening after work.
Yeah, yep. Well, I guess on a Friday you probably try to get home at a reasonable hour too, do you?
Yeah, it was a good Friday last week. Got home with plenty of time.
Yep, well, that's good. And in terms of, I guess, if you think about professions like, if I think of something physically taxing like shearing, I guess shearers most shearers, I guess, don't work into their late working years, because the body's probably starting to wear out a bit. But I guess for you, do you sort of feel like you're comfortable where you are, and truck driving is where you want to be through to retirement, or what goes through your mind there?
Oh, I would like to get to a point where I'm living comfortably before I get out of it. Like, pass off, do a few holidays, and then look at something else. I don't think I'll ever retire to the point where I'm a great and go travelling, but when I get out of this, I'll probably work as a farmhand somewhere for a local farmer.
Yep.
And just retire like that. But this will be me for I'd say the next 10 or 15 years anyway.
Yep. Very good. And probably
I think I'll be near 60 then.
Yep. That's good. Well, it sounds like you're enjoying it enough to think of it, to do it for that long. So that's good. Just probably changing tact a little bit, Andrew. What I guess, I've been involved in a different part of the supply chain or the industry, but a similar area during my career, and a lot of our customers and software customers, and bulk handlers and traders, etc., particularly the bulk handlers, I guess there's been some decent investment in infrastructure over the last probably 5 to 10 years, and probably just interested in. I mean, you're picking up and tipping grain off in a lot of places. How have you found the efficiency, I guess, of loading and unloading over the time you've been driving a truck? Do you feel like we've made good leaps forward, or are we going backwards, or are we going sideways? How's that?
Looking at harvest work, like on farm stuff, things are getting bigger and faster, definitely faster. There was once a time you'd wait 20 minutes or so to get a load out of a chaser bin or a field bin, and I think last year they could load a whole 5 minutes in some spots. Like that was, 60 tonne of grain in 5 minutes ain't too bad, or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So then, the machinery's just getting bigger and faster. That's what it is. Like, nothing's 30 foot anymore. 5 foot fronts on headers, and chaser bins are now like 36 tonne to 50 tonne chaser bins instead of the old 12 tonne. So they're getting more off faster, which means we get loaded quicker.
Yeah. And that's certainly that's at the farm level. And what about at the bulk handler level, like in terms of loading grain out of sites that you're then carting down to the ports?
Well,
you're finding the same thing?
Ports have since I've been driving, you go to like Port Kembla, you can tip a whole truck in there in a couple of minutes and you're out the gate. And they all work now with time slotting, so no one's banked up. When I first started driving, I can remember getting down to Port Kembla and you'd be there all day because there'd be a line up of trucks. But now they've got a time slotted. They tell you to be there between 3 and 4, and they call you in once you get there.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I think over time, there's probably still a few problems here and there in spots of loading and unloading, but mainstream, it's looking pretty good to get unloaded anywhere. Like they mainly all drive over pits now everywhere you go.
Yeah. No, that's good. And probably on the size of trucks, I guess you're driving a B-Double truck there tonight, which I'm guessing you've got 40 odd tonne payload on. Yeah,
about 42, I think.
Yep. And I guess road trains are commonplace west of the Newcastle Highway. But what's happening there on the Hume Highway, or do you see that are we going to get to bigger trucks than what you're driving tonight over time?
There's a few. You'll see out on the Hume now running down to the port. Under the PBS scheme, they run a road train, or they call it an A-double now, which is 2 trailers and a dolly between it, and they can run that into Port Kembla.
Yep.
So they can get basically 55 tonne into the port.
Yep.
In one truck, which it doesn't sound like much when someone says 55 tonne, but the truck away, I think they can go in there. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's about 85. And 85 tonne gross. So, if you're a car that tries to pull in front of that going down the mountain, you're looking at sort of, 80 cars in one big pile of steel coming behind you.
Yes.
Like the weight of one car is probably an average car is 1,500 kilos.
Yep.
And a truck's now 85. Well, it's a lot of responsibility for a driver to take, to have an unknowing car or someone that just thinks they can, there's a gap there, I'll slip in there. Where, you try and leave your safe zone, but sometimes it's not always there.
No, that's right. Well, I having not driven a B-Double on the highway, I've driven trucks on farm trucks, but as you say, when you're travelling at a rate of knots and you're in a B-Double, it's a big, as you say, it's a big responsibility. So, that's good, Andrew. Well, it was good to have a chat. We could talk all night, and you're probably getting closer to Sydney now. But really appreciate the chat, and it was a little bit different tonight to have a conversation with someone who's rolling down the highway with some grain on board. And what have you got, a load of wheat on, or what have you got on?
I've actually got a load of canola seeds going up to Newcastle to go to the canola crush.
Oh, rightio, you're off to Cargill up there.
Yep, that's where I'm going, yep.
Oh, very good. And then you'll run back empty tomorrow back to get another load.
No, I think I'm going to Walgett tomorrow to bring wheat into the port in Newcastle.
Oh, righty, yep, up to Walgett, right, yep.
It must be dry enough to get something off the ground out there at the moment.
Yeah, yep. No, that's right. And I guess and sometimes of the year you'd be carting fertiliser or something back from the port back out to up country.
Yeah, usually during the year, from February on, we cart a lot of fertiliser back out of the port, back out to the farmers, and go sowing. Usually in the sowing, and then during the year, a lot of urea goes out to spread over crops. And so we basically grain in, fertiliser out, but this time of year, there's a lot of grain moving to get into the boats. So, we're basically doing grain at the moment.
Yeah, yep. No, that makes sense. It's all cyclical. So, well, that's good, Andrew. Well, thanks for your time, and appreciate you taking the time out to join our podcast, and hopefully everyone's picked something up from tonight, and as I said, appreciates everything that the trucking companies and the drivers do, because without them we wouldn't have an industry. So thanks for all your effort, and good luck, safe travels.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to Harvestable by AgriDigital. We hope you enjoyed this fireside chat, and see you next week for another episode.